What up guys, it's a nice day today. Something I see wrong all the time is people strapping down cruisers entirely the wrong way. I've even seen them slipping and sliding, fishtailing on the trailer on highway. I'm going to show you guys how to strap down a cruiser. In this case we got a Victory Highball. Watch this. Step one, if you got a wheel chock, make sure it's in the right position. I actually did a motorcycle wheel chock review on this chock, so I'll post a little link up in the cards or in the comment section below. You guys can take a look. If you're looking for a wheel chock, I think it was only like less than $100 or something. It was a pretty good deal. Always make sure you take the key out. Now the whole purpose of the wheel chock is to hold the bike up while you're working on it. I'm going to use these soft loops. I'll show you right here. I'll also post a bunch of links so you guys can take a look. I'm going to go around here, the handlebars. Basically we're going to set this up so that we're not going to be pulling on any of the cables. Some people will hook directly onto here, but that's a nice way to scuff everything up and ruin the finish. Metal on metal, all that rubbing, you don't want that. Like this. There's nothing that can scratch up. Next thing we're going to use is some old but awesome ratchet straps. I actually prefer old ones to new ones. New ones, they can stretch out while you're driving, which means that you can start off nice and tight, end up with some slack. The old ones are already well worn in. They're not going to stretch anymore on you. I also use these soft covers, and I'll explain why in a second. So these soft covers are great because anywhere where you have potential friction here or here, you can end up with chafing that could ruin the finish. But with these, they're really soft, they absorb any vibrations, and there's no scuffs or scratches to the finish of your vehicle. Whether it's on metal, finished paint, doesn't really matter. Keeps them nice and safe. Now a couple things to note. I pulled out the side stand just in case I pulled this too hard and the thing tipped over, but it looks like we're nice and good, so we can just tuck that out of the way now. We're going to do the same on both sides. So once again, this nice little soft cover I'm going to put up there, because without it, for any kind of distance, you can easily scratch up your bike, and obviously we don't want that. In terms of how low to compress the suspension, usually there's a little line from where the oil and the forks kind of hit and the suspension's being dampened. I don't compress the forks all the way down. I like to leave a little bit of play, but I compress them down enough that the bike's not going to be bouncing all over the place either. You don't want the forks completely maxed out, but you don't want the bike to be too bouncy. So that's what we're going for. Okay, so there's still a little bit of clearance where the forks can go up and down. Now one mistake I see a lot of people make is they'll just sort of put the cable through here and then kind of go back around another time and then strap it either end. And they think that that's going to keep it secure, but the reality is that it could actually slide either which way with enough force. So the proper way to do up the back is you always use two cables. One cable that's going to hold the bike from pushing too far that way, one cable that's going to restrain the bike this way, so it's going to stop the bike from going too far that way. And that actually means you need 4 anchor points back here, or you can use the front ones. So you go up to one anchor, get rid of some of that slack, through the other anchor, and ratchet it nice and tight. Now you'll notice as you do this, the bike's going to start to shift this way, so we're not going to do it too tight, we're just going to do the other side. Also, when you're finding holes to get through in your rims, make sure that you're not going to have any of the metal parts touching onto metal. That cause some damage. So I'll show you guys from dead center here. These two are stopping the bike from sliding that way. Those two are stopping the bike from being able to slide this way. And you'll see there's clearance all around, so nowhere do I really have any metal touching anything. It's also metal. I'm putting no pressure on any kind of key joints, like any sort of thing related to the swing arm or to the pipes, where the pipes are mounted. And same with here as well. Now the only thing left to do is you got all of this cable you have to tie up somewhere. So on my website, emotorcycle.com, I show you guys how to tie some good knots, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to show you guys a very quick way, which is just tie 3 knots anywhere, and they're not going to come loose. So here's the fast and easy way. And when I'm doing it this way, I'll kind of do them a little bit high up, just so that while I'm driving, I can see that my knots are still done up in my rearview mirror. And I'm going to keep a lot of slack here, so that way there's no pressure on anything. And just simply 1, 2, nice and tight, pull from both sides. 3. Now, a couple things to note. 1, you want to make sure that there's never enough slack to get into your wheel well. That could totally mess things up for you. My wheel wells are covered, so I'm okay. But just make sure this isn't dangling so far and you get caught, wrapped up in the wheel, and pull your whole bag off. Second thing to note again, there are better knots, but I'm trying to make this video at a real entry, easy to understand level, so we're gonna just leave it at that. And the rest is just straightforward safety stuff. So want to give everything a good tug, make sure it's taut with a little bit of slack, maybe about 1 inch of play, same as your chain. Give the bike a good pull, tap it and say, that's not going anywhere. And of course, you're going to make sure that any cables that you do have that are loose are not hanging down on the road, dragging or anything. There we go. Make sure your coupler's down. Always use a cotter pin too. Otherwise your coupler could bounce off the ball. You don't want that. Lights, of course, hook them up. Make sure they're working. Safety chains, hook them on. So that's it, guys. Super quick video on how to strap down any cruiser. Cool. I mean, this one specifically was a Victory Highball, but pretty much the fundamentals of this will apply to any cruiser. Hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment. I'm always eager to hear what you guys have to say, hear your questions, hear your thoughts. If you do anything a little different from me, let me know in the comments too. Maybe there's something that maybe you guys have a trick to teach me. All right, peace. Ride safe.